In a world where beast taming had become a global phenomenon, a young man named Yangyang transmigrated from another world. 5 years had passed since his arrival, and today marked the moment he had been waiting for, the day he would finally use the wishing stone that came with him. His goal was clear: to awaken the strongest beasts seal just 20 minutes before the awakening ceremony began. A teacher stood before the assembled students and explained the hierarchy of beast seals. From highest to lowest, they were divine, immortal, heaven, earth, yellow, profound, and mortal. The number of light pillars that appeared during the awakening determined the seal's grade. The more pillars, the higher the grade. After the explanation, the teacher began calling out names, sending the students into the awakening formation one by one. The first student entered and managed to awaken a yellow grade seal with E-rank talent. Disappointed, he burst into tears, but the teacher offered some encouragement and moved on to the next name. Fan Tong. Fan Tong entered the formation but awakened only a mortal grade seal with no talent at all. Stunned, he couldn't believe he had received the lowest possible result. More students followed, each stepping into the formation. Most awakened low-grade seals, and while a few managed to reach mid-tier, none showed any truly exceptional talent. Eventually, it was Zhao Ying's turn, the school's renowned beauty and the eldest daughter of the prestigious Zhou family. For years, she had seen Yangyang as her rival, frustrated by the fact that he always seemed one step ahead. Today, she was determined to prove her superiority. Among the students, Yangyang's friend nudged him and teased, "The school goddess is glaring at you again." Yangyang raised an eyebrow, confused. He hadn't even spoken to her, so why the hostility? Before he could dwell on it, his friend asked, "What grade of beast seal do you think you'll awaken?" Yangyang replied confidently, "No matter what, I will awaken a divine grade seal." Laughter erupted around him. "Some people really dare to say anything," one student scoffed. "Just because he's good at theory doesn't mean he can awaken a top-tier seal." In all Longguo's history, fewer than 10 people have ever awakened a divine grade seal, another added. What a boast! Yangyang remained unfazed by their mockery. Standing nearby, instructor Zhang Guofu from class overheard the conversation and turned to old Su, Yangyang's class instructor. "That Yangyang of yours isn't very talented," he remarked, "but he sure knows how to brag." Old Su, however, defended his student. Considering his top scores in the mock exams, it's not entirely impossible for him to awaken a divine-grade beast seal. Zhang Guofu laughed. "I've already looked into him. Yangyang's an orphan. His parents were nobodies without any talent. Even though his sister, Yang Bing, shocked everyone by awakening a divine-grade seal, she's adopted. No blood relation." He continued proudly, "But my student Zhao Ying, she'll definitely shine." As Zhao Ying stepped into the formation, the crowd erupted in excitement. Despite always ranking second in the class, she was a favorite among the academy and the community. As the formation activated, 7 radiant beams of light shot into the sky. Gasps echoed across the crowd. Deng Yang's friends stood in disbelief. Zhao Ying had truly awakened a divine-grade beast seal. Suddenly, a mystical phenomenon appeared in the sky, a black phoenix. The legendary beast had not been summoned in over 200 years, and now it had returned. The instructor, nearly overwhelmed with excitement, announced, "Zhao Ying has awakened a divine-grade beast seal with double S-rank talent." The crowd burst into applause. With her black phoenix, Zhao Ying was guaranteed a recommendation to Tianlong Academy. She might even go down in history. The instructor approached her and offered heartfelt praise. "The future of Longguo rests on talents like yours." Zhao Ying respectfully thanked him and promised to continue striving to grow stronger. At last it was Yangyang's turn. The instructor called his name, and Yangyang stepped forward to enter the awakening formation. As he passed Zhao Ying, she turned to him with a confident smirk. "This time, I'll definitely win." Yangyang smiled calmly and replied, "Don't get overconfident too soon." Meanwhile, Zhang Guofu laughed mockingly and turned to old Su, saying, "I'm really looking forward to seeing what kind of trash beast your class's top student will awaken." Old Su clenched his fists in frustration, but chose not to respond. As the others mocked and whispered, Yangyang stepped into the awakening formation. The moment the process began, a stunning phenomenon occurred. All 12 awakening stones lit up at once. The entire hall gasped in disbelief. The students who had been laughing at Yangyang earlier stood frozen. How could someone from such a poor background light up all 12 stones? Even Zhao Ying was astonished. She couldn't believe what she was seeing. But that wasn't all. The sky began to rumble, and phantoms of countless beasts appeared overhead. Spectators stared upward, shocked by the overwhelming number of beast images. Then realization dawned. This is the sign of a beast seal forming. But even then, many still doubted. Could Yangyang really have succeeded? Even Yangyang himself was stunned. He looked around in confusion, wondering, where is my beast seal? Suddenly, a scroll-like object appeared, floating in the air before him. It glowed with a mysterious aura, then swiftly flew toward Yangyang and vanished into his body. Startled, he instinctively closed his eyes, and when he opened them, a red system window appeared before him. You have awakened the Beast Seal, classic of mountains and seas. With this seal, you can summon creatures recorded in the ancient text at random. Yangyang blinked in confusion. Classic of mountains and seas? What is that? As he tried to gather his thoughts, another system message appeared. You currently have no contract monster. You may summon one from the classic of mountains and seas. Meanwhile, outside the formation, the instructors were just as bewildered. What's going on? One of them muttered, frowning. They checked the awakening results. No contract monster. Ah, so it's just another trash talent, someone concluded. The lead instructor stepped forward and loudly declared, Yangyang has awakened a divine-grade beast seal, but it's an ancient book, a trash seal with SSS-ranked talent. A long silence followed. The crowd didn't know how to react. Then laughter broke out. They couldn't believe it. After all that spectacle, Yangyang had awakened a broken book? Zhang Guafu burst out laughing. Old Su, you made such a fuss, and it turns out your boy awakened a book, he mocked. Is he planning to throw literature at the enemy? A broken book fits that bookworm perfectly. Yangyang quietly descended from the formation platform, deep in thought about his seal. Old Su approached him and placed a reassuring hand on his shoulder. Don't take their words to heart, he said kindly. Awakening a beast seal is mostly luck. With your talent, even without a summoned beast, you can still achieve great things. Yangyang nodded, grateful. Thank you, Instructor Su. With those words, he left for home, determined to study his seal and understand its power. But as he walked away, his classmates resumed their mockery. Some called him a street dog, while others repeated the very words he had once said proudly, I will awaken the strongest beast seal. Despite the insults, Yangyang remained calm. He knew the truth of the world he lived in. This was an era of disasters, where wormhole dungeons erupted across the globe, unleashing unspeakable horrors. Every student, a week before the college entrance examination, had to undergo Beast Seal Awakening. Only those who became Beastmasters, summoning powerful monsters, could resist the disasters emerging from these wormholes. In Country I, someone had summoned Yamata no Orochi, sweeping through every dungeon within their borders. In Country K, the summoned beast Guishin had dispelled the fog-shrouded forbidden zones. In Country M, the mysterious beast Venom led the charge to annex weaker nations. But in Long Guo, Yangyang's homeland, the break in ancient civilization had resulted in the loss of monster totems from the National Destiny Temple. Now, Beastmasters there couldn't summon powerful creatures. Once a mighty Eastern Titan, Long Guo had become a global joke. Yet Yangyang knew this wasn't the time to think about national decline. Without wasting a moment, he made his way to a quiet, isolated place where no one could see him. It was time to discover the truth behind his so-called trash seal. Reaching the secluded spot, Yangyang opened his system status panel, and what he saw stunned him. His so-called trash beast seal wasn't just divine grade, it was actually super divine grade. No wonder the instructors and students had never seen it before. They had misjudged it, labeling it a worthless ancient book. Now, since Yangyang had no contract beast yet, the system prompted him with new information. You can summon creatures randomly from the classic of mountains and seas. Once summoned, the creature will take all damage on behalf of the Beastmaster as long as it remains alive. Yangyang's eyes widened in awe. This changes everything. With such a feature, he could completely avoid scenarios where a Beastmaster got ambushed and instantly killed. His survival rate would skyrocket. Next, he checked his SSS grade talent. Talent, Divine Encouragement Level 1. Effect increases both master and servant's attribute values by 10x. Yangyang was speechless. A 10-fold increase at just level 1? Is this overpowered? A talent like that, paired with a super divine grade beast seal? Yangyang knew it wouldn't be long before he soared past everyone else. At that moment, the system popped up with a prompt. Would you like to summon your first contract beasts? A confident smile appeared on Yangyang's face. "Yes," he said, gently tapping the confirmation. Suddenly, the space beside him distorted with a brilliant flash of light, and a mighty creature emerged from within. He had successfully summoned a 3S-grade monster, Zulong. The stats appeared instantly. Strength, 1000. Agility, 1000. Spirit, 1000. Constitution, 2000. Skills. Passive skill, Dragon's Might, intimidates enemies up to 5 levels higher, reducing their strength by 20%. Active skill, Zulong's Breath, unleashes a searing beam of light, dealing area of effect damage equal to 300% of spirit. Active skill, Dragon's Roar, emits a heaven-shaking roar, dealing AoE damage equal to 300% of strength. Yangyang stood in stunned silence. These abilities, they're terrifying. Not only could Zulong reduce enemy stats, it also possessed 2 high-damage AoE attacks. Even more shocking were the base stats, starting at 1000 across the board and 2000 Constitution. Yangyang recalled that even the strongest level 1 monsters typically had no more than 100 points in a single attribute. Was this the power of his divine encouragement talent, amplifying everything tenfold? Raising his hand, Yangyang looked at the magnificent dragon beast before him and spoke firmly. "Zulong, acknowledge me as your master." Meanwhile, at the National Destiny Temple, something extraordinary occurred. The moment Yangyang summoned Zulong, his 3-scrade totem appeared within the ancient temple, a phenomenon unseen for years. A temple observer monitoring the altar witnessed the emergence of the totem and was stunned. Without delay, he rushed to report the incident to the higher-ups. "The National Destiny Temple has just detected a 3-grade totem," he exclaimed. The senior officials were speechless. It had been ages since Longguo's ancient heritage produced anything of such magnitude. The appearance of a 3-grade monster seemed impossible in this era. However, a white-haired elder, calm and wise, spoke up. "Don't get excited yet. Come with me. We must confirm it ourselves." They hurried to the heart of the temple, and there they saw it, the unmistakable aura of a 3-grade totem, still glowing. This is real," one of them muttered. "It truly is a 3-grade totem." "And look," another added, "the national destiny value has increased by 1000 points." The white-haired elder's expression grew serious. "Send people immediately. I don't care if you have to dig 3 feet into the ground. Find out who summoned this monster." The next day, at the novice dungeon waiting area, students were gathered, preparing to enter the dungeon to level up. Yangyang's classmates were also present, chatting about the upcoming battle trials. His friend walked over and asked, "Hey, do you want to team up? It'll be easier," but Yangyang shook his head. "I'm going solo." His friend stared at him in disbelief. "Are you crazy?" Hearing this, the surrounding students burst into laughter. "Solo? What's he going to do? Read his classic of mountains and seas at the monsters until they die? Yeah, is that trash beast seal gonna grow legs and carry him away?" Someone mocked. Another chimed in. "How's he planning to fight with that useless book?" Yangyang's friend leaned in and whispered in frustration, "I came here just to carry you through this dungeon. Why are you being so unreasonable?" Just then, Zhao Ying approached from behind. "If you're worried about the difficulty," she said coolly, "you can team up with me. I'll carry you through without any problem." But Yangyang declined her offer as well. "Teaming up slows down experience gain," he said simply. Zhao Ying narrowed her eyes. "I have a divine-grade beast seal. How would leveling up with me slow you down?" Then realization struck her, and her expression changed. "He's trying to level up quickly. Is he aiming for Tianlong Academy?" The other students overheard and began laughing again. "This guy wants to apply to Tianlong Academy? With a trash seal like that? Does he even know the minimum requirement is level 10? Zhao Ying stepped forward, her pride stung. "Since we're both aiming for Tianlong Academy, do you dare to compete and see who levels up faster?" Yangyang smiled confidently. "Sure, I'll be waiting at the finish line." With that, he entered the dungeon. Zhao Ying clenched her fists in frustration, but quickly calmed herself and followed him into the dungeon. Inside, she summoned her Black Phoenix. Moments later, a level 2 horned horse appeared. Despite her beast being only level 1, it was still a divine-grade beast seal. She issued a command. "Phoenix strike!" With a brilliant flash, the Black Phoenix struck down the monster instantly. Feeling her confidence returned, Zhao Ying smirked. "There's no way anyone can farm faster than me." At the same time, Yangyang, upon entering the dungeon, immediately encountered a level 3 wolf pack. A dangerous foe, especially as a first encounter. If it were anyone else, they'd be overwhelmed right now. But Yangyang had two major advantages: area of effect skills and a tank-like monster that absorbed damage for him. Without hesitation, he summoned Zhulong. Zhulong, use Zhulong's breath. A powerful beam of blazing light erupted from the dragon's mouth, instantly incinerating the entire wolf pack. On move, Yangyang thought, and they're all gone. He watched as the experience points flooded in. He had already reached level 3. The Classic of Mountains and Seas also revealed something new. It had 3 monster slots. If he could summon another beast, his farming speed would increase even more. Unfortunately, his spirit energy regenerated only 10 points per day, and summoning required 100 points. So, for now, I can only rely on Zhulong, but that's more than enough. Clenching his fists with determination, Yangyang muttered, "I need to reach level 10 as soon as possible." After clearing out the level 3 wolf pack, Yangyang began gathering the dropped loot, but just as he bent down, a chilling presence appeared behind him, a level 5 wild wolf king. Faster, stronger, and more aggressive than the rest, the Wolf King was notorious among beginners. Most novice beastmasters would flee at the mere sight of it. Unfortunately for the beast, it had encountered Yangyang. "Zhuang, take it down," Yangyang commanded without hesitation. Zhuang launched an immediate attack, but the Wolf King swiftly dodged, causing Yangyang to widen his eyes in surprise. As expected, this beast lives up to its reputation as the newbie killer. It's not surprising it avoided Zhulong's attack. With a feral growl, the Wolf King leapt high into the air, lunging straight for Yangyang. But Yangyang didn't flinch. "Zhuang, use Dragon's Roar!" A thunderous sound erupted as Zhulong unleashed his mighty roar. Though the skill's area of effect was only 10 meters, the Wolf King had closed the gap on its own, and that proved to be a fatal mistake. The shockwave hit with devastating force, instantly killing the Wolf King. Yangyang obtained a rare item, a spirit energy stone. His eyes lit up. Teacher Su once mentioned that this can restore spirit energy. Without hesitation, Yangyang ordered the system to use it. A moment later, his spirit energy was fully restored to 100 points. Grinning, Yangyang didn't waste a second. "System," he said, "summon another monster." The sky darkened and a blinding pillar of light formed before him. As the glow faded, a massive creature emerged. An SS-grade Classic of Mountains and Seas monster, the dragon turtle Yangyang was shocked. Are all the monsters from the Classic of Mountains and Seas this powerful? Though its 4-dimensional attributes weren't as monstrous as Zhuolong's SSS-grade stats, the dragon turtle excelled in high constitution, physical resistance, and damage reduction skills. Most importantly, it possessed an active skill, Taunt. A perfect match, Yangyang thought. The dragon turtle can draw aggro while Zhulong deals massive area damage. This combo is incredible. Meanwhile, at the National Destiny Temple, chaos erupted once again. The man in charge of monitoring the temple's totem platform burst into the advisor's chamber. "Another new totem has appeared!" The senior advisors turned, stunned. "Another one? What grade is it this time?" The man swallowed nervously. "It's SS grade, and the National Destiny value just increased by 500 points. Shock rippled through the room. 2 days in a row? One advisor muttered in disbelief. "And both are above S grade?" The man continued, "According to the data, both of these monsters were summoned by a novice beastmaster who isn't even level 10. The room fell silent. "A novice?" someone repeated. "Not even level 10 and he's summoned monsters of this caliber?" Back at Yangyang's school, a female instructor approached Teacher Su. "I heard from the students that Yangyang entered the novice dungeon to level up. Is that true?" A few teachers nearby overheard and burst out laughing. "With that trash beast seal that can't even summon a monster, he went into the dungeon. He must have a death wish." Teacher Su frowned but responded calmly. "I've heard from a few students he may actually be able to summon monsters." The others scoffed. What kind of monsters could he possibly summon? A walking book? Maybe it'll sprout legs and carry him out. Teacher Su had no words. He simply turned away and whispered a silent prayer. "Yangyang, it seems you haven't given up yet. I just hope you come back safely." Just then, a man in a formal Beastmaster uniform walked toward the teachers. It was Zhou Jianhua, the president of the Sub-North City Beastmaster Alliance branch, and Zhou Ying's father, Jiang Guofu, stepped forward respectfully. "President Zhou, have you come to see your daughter's dungeon results today? The trial hasn't ended yet. You'll need to wait a little while longer." But before anyone could respond, the gate of the novice dungeon suddenly opened and someone began stepping out. With a proud smile, one of the teachers congratulated Zhou Zhenghua. "Looks like your daughter is the first to come out, as expected of a prodigy." However, to everyone's surprise, the first person to emerge was not Zhao Ying, but Yangyang. Even teacher Su looked confused. "Yangyang, why did you come out early?" Yangyang scratched his head awkwardly. "I'm not exactly sure either. I was fighting monsters, then suddenly the system notified me that I'd cleared the dungeon and I was forcibly ejected." He went on to explain, "I had just reached level 5 and was heading toward the level 10 monster spawn zone when a level 10 Savage King appeared out of nowhere. Zhulan used a single breath and accidentally killed it, and the next moment I was kicked out." Hearing this, Zhang Guofu stepped forward, skeptical. "That's not possible. In all previous years, even the most talented students needed at least 2 full days to clear the novice dungeon." But as he examined Yangyang more closely, he saw the system interface above his head displaying level 5. Both Teacher Su and President Zhao were stunned. "How did you reach level 5 so quickly?" Zheng Guofu asked. "Your beast seal is just a broken book. What kind of monster did you even summon?" Yangyang was just about to reveal the truth when Teacher Su quickly stepped in. "You must be exhausted after battling all day," Su said loudly, placing a firm hand on Yangyang's shoulder. "Come on, let's get you some rest." He leaned in and whispered in Yangyang's ear, "No matter what, don't reveal your summoned monsters to anyone until the college entrance exam." Yangyang gave a subtle nod and thanked him quietly before walking off. President Zhou watched Yangyang from behind, deep in thought. In the recent years, the only one in Longguo who cleared the novice dungeon on the first day was the prodigy Yang Bing, but even she exited just 2 minutes before the dungeon closed. Yet this boy came out a whole hour early. The gap is terrifying. Half an hour later, Zhao Ying emerged from the dungeon, having successfully reached level 4. Other students gradually followed. Some had managed to reach level 2, while others hadn't even gained a full level's worth of experience. Zhao Ying, however, was scanning the area restlessly. Her father noticed. "Yinger, who are you looking for?" She turned to him and asked, "Dad, have you seen Yangyang?" President Zhu nodded. He already reached level 5 and cleared the dungeon an hour ago? He's long gone." Zhu Ying's eyes widened in disbelief. "An hour early? And he's already level 5? She stood still, shaken. How is that even possible? The next day, Yangyang stood outside the novice dungeon again, eyes filled with determination. "There are still 5 days until the college entrance exam. No matter what, I have to reach level 7 today." As word of his astonishing progress spread, his classmates began to gather around him. "Yangyang, carry me through the dungeon, please, just one run with you." Some of the girls even tried to flirt or seduce him, hoping to win favor, but Yangyang shrugged them off. "Sorry, I'm not interested." A few of them scoffed in frustration. "Tooch? Just because he got a little praise, he thinks he's a genius? Yeah, he's only riding on his SSS grade talent." From nearby, Zhao Ying overheard the conversation. Her expression turned unreadable as she watched Yangyang walk off again, focused, driven, and completely unfazed. Meanwhile, Yangyang entered the novice dungeon once again. This time, the terrain was different. The monsters were more scattered across the area. "Perfect," he thought. "A great opportunity to test out the dragon turtle's skills." He immediately summoned the dragon turtle and ordered it to use its taunt skill to attract enemies. While the turtle provoked the surrounding monsters, Yangyang gave a second command, "Zhulong, clear the mobs." With a sweeping wave of attacks, Zhulong wiped out groups of enemies with ease. The experience points flowed in rapidly. Thanks to the dragon turtle's support, Yangyang's leveling efficiency had skyrocketed. Both of his summoned beasts had grown stronger. Zhulong, empowered by his divine encouragement talent, had now broken past 3,000 in a single attribute, a feat unheard of for a novice-level beast. At this point, Yangyang realized the novice dungeon could no longer satisfy his growth. "If I want to reach level 10 before the entrance exam," he thought, "I need to move to a higher-level dungeon soon." Just then, a system notification popped up. "You have killed level 10 mutated black bear. You have obtained Beastmaster Skillbook Soul Tear." Yangyang's eyes widened in disbelief. Is this a skill book for Beastmasters? That meant he could now fight on his own, without relying solely on his summoned monsters. Without wasting a second, he opened the skill book and immediately mastered Soul Tear. Moments later, a humanoid-shaped monster approached him. It gave off a powerful aura, much stronger than the previous mobs. Perfect, Yangyang thought with a smirk. Let's test it out. He activated Soul Tier. A flash of ethereal energy burst from his hand. One hit and the monster dropped dead. A system prompt confirmed. You have killed. Final boss, Savage King. You have gained 1,000 experience points. Dungeon cleared. Yangyang stood there, momentarily stunned. I one-shotted the final boss again?